Alright guys, so this is a bit of a follow-up to showing you some of the equipment, the pruning equipment. So now we're going into some further detail about what equipment we're going to use, how we're going to use it, what the appropriate equipment is to prune this Stolonyx or Poinciana. What I wanted to show you firstly was the importance of where you're pruning the tree and what the tree does when you prune it correctly. So this is what we call callus tissue. Okay, so we're going to put a diagram up about callus, about the actual some terminology about the cell structure, the vascular tissue in the tree. But for the practical side of things, and while we're on site, some things to look out for. Okay, when we prune correctly, we don't damage these wrinkles here, which is what stores cambium. It's like a stem cell. It forms the callus tissue that comes over the top of the prune. Okay, what a lot of people don't know is that the only thing that's living on a tree is the outer layer. The inside is what we call the heartwood, all right, and it doesn't have any living cells in it, so it doesn't have the ability to be able to callus over and close that wound. So that's why a lot of the time with big trees, often we see them hollowed out, okay, because they've had borer or some kind of borer go into that heartwood and it starts eating it from the inside out. Okay, so we don't want that. We want this callus tissue to go over and close the wound. All right, so I just wanted to show you that quickly and the importance of it when we're using the equipment. Okay, so we're in amongst the foliage. We want to get in, and I'm just going to cut this branch as a bit of an example on how to use the bow saw. Okay, the reason why we're cutting it off is it's a bit of dead wood. We want to get rid of that. We're not trying to encourage any borers into the dead wood, which can essentially start eating out the heartwood, which is what I was talking about before with the callusing. All right, so just a quick example. We're going to get this cut here. So what I want to firstly do is a bit of an undercut. Okay, so we're going to go through with a bit of an undercut. Okay, there's plenty of ants around. That's why we know that it's dead. Right, the ants are getting into that dead wood. So we've done an undercut. Now we want to go over the top. Now we want to come back towards the tree slightly. Okay, about the thickness of the branch. Come back here and we want to do a top cut. Now what that does, if that branch had a lot of weight on it, that branch would start folding down like this. Okay, and you can see how easy that snapped off. So it snapped off where I did the undercut. So a lot of the time, you can see how difficult it is to get in here and show you an example. A lot of the time we might be on a ladder, we might be elevated off the ground. All right, so if that branch comes down and it's not controlled, it could come down, swing out and take the ladder out and those sorts of things. You see it all the time. We want that cut to be nice and controlled. So we do an undercut, and that's where that branch will stop when the weight is trying to drag it down when you're doing the top cut, and essentially we'll make it nice and controlled. It also stops the branch if you're just doing a top cut and there's weight on it. That branch will start snapping because of the weight, and it'll start peeling back along here, start damaging the tree, and you see that a lot as well. All right, so we're now going to clean that cut up. Careful not to damage any of the cambium tissue, all right, and allow that to callus over, which is what we were talking about at the start. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up. Like so. All right, so we'll get a bit of a close-up on that just to show you exactly what I mean by getting close enough but not too close to damage the tissue. Okay, so previously we showed you the right equipment for the right pruning job. I just showed you how to use a bow saw. Now we've got to get up a little bit higher. We don't want to use a ladder, so we're using an extended pole. All right, and I'm going to show you how to cut this branch off here. All right, so again, it's the same technique. We want to do an undercut. Like so. We're cutting this off because it's dead wood. We want to be very mindful that this doesn't fall on us. Okay, so we stop and think about it for a little bit, and we'll come over this side and we'll do the top cut. Nice and controlled because we did the undercut. Okay, again, it's about cleaning this up, going nice and close to the cambium but not damaging it. Okay, so you can see how effective these hand saws can be without the noise, without the safety concerns that we may have when we're using a chainsaw. Okay, so nice and easy, use the appropriate equipment. We've just trimmed that up there. What I'm looking at now is we've got another piece of deadwood here. Okay, now it's not a substantial branch, it's not going to have a lot of weight on it, so I'll get away with just doing a top cut on this one. But what I'll do is I'll come away from the cambium a little so we don't damage it. Nice and controlled again. And now we want to clean that cut up. All right, so we'll get a close up on that so you can see exactly what we've done. Use the right equipment. No need for chainsaws, not annoying the neighbours. That's the pole saw for you. Like I say, you can get away with it on some of this softer wood. If this was a gum tree or a eucalypt, it'd be very hard wood and you probably wouldn't be able to get through it with this. You'd have to use a chainsaw.
Hey there guys and girls, thanks for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you're new to the industry, if there's some 101s that you want to know about your trade, be sure to hit us up in the comments and we'll try and get a video out there for you shortly. Always remember, it's your education, it's your future, it's your choice. I am 101.